mayor sitting up there in the corner of the screen, but I couldn't say anything.
Huh, it's weird.
You are unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, I've had that happen to me and a few times. I don't know how, but I once have gotten back from that sign-in page. I guess I should learn more about how Zoom works. Let's see, 6:30. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have enough for a quorum. We believe there'll be a couple more joining us in just a few moments. We welcome you to our regular city council meeting held electronically. And as required by state law, we will have the electronic meeting statement now. Pursuant to Utah Code, West Valley City has determined that this meeting will be held electronically without an anchor location given the ongoing novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. West Valley City has determined the pandemic presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at an anchor location. This meeting will be held electronically. Members of the press and public are invited to view this meeting live on YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/WVCTV. To participate in the public comment period or scheduled public hearings, please visit www.wvc-ut.gov/public comment or contact the city recorder. Thank you. Next, we have our Inside the City video.
The Latino community experienced suicide at higher rates, 2.5 or higher rates than the dominant culture in Utah. It is troublesome and it is dangerous.
We appreciate again West Valley City and the Latino communities all over Utah. We truly believe if all aspects of our community get involved, that we can save lives, the lives of so many Utahns.
You will see examples here of a new series of billboards for the Latino community. We need to shine a light on this issue. We need to bring it to the forefront in all of our communities to make sure that we are addressing the issues of mental health and suicide prevention. These are issues that do not go away. But there are people, Spanish-speaking and of many other cultures, across our state that we must and will reach out to. Every life is important. Every person is critical to our society. They add depth, dimension, culture, interest, diversity, everything to our communities. And so this program, Live On, with its outreach to our Spanish community, is essential, the Latino community. Any of those who attended want to add any comments to that? It was well covered by the media, and so I don't know how much play that'll get on the different TV stations and the like. Although it was interesting to do the Spanish part where I spoke Spanish, and certainly our governor did too. So made it kind of interesting. Not hearing anything else, we'll move on to our minutes of March 9th for our regular city council meeting.
Move for approval of those minutes.
Second.
Okay, and not hearing any further comments on them, The minutes we will, without objection, be approved. And hearing no objection, that was unanimous, so the minutes are approved. Next, we go to our comment period. Nicole, we almost always have some, but how many do we have tonight?
We have two tonight, Mayor. The first is Jim Visock.
Okay,
Good evening, Mayor. Good PSA. I liked it. It was great. Once again, from the study meeting, the parking ordinance that you guys are considering, I did a quick check out in my neighborhood. First, I was shocked. There was only 6 cars parked on my street. That never happened. But 4 of them would be out of compliance if we went to that. The new ordinances that you guys are looking at. And once again, I will advocate for more parking compliance specialists. On the weekend, it's just getting so out of control. And right now, with only 3, they can't cover the weekends. And so, and if we put a burden of a new ordinance on them, they're going to need more people. So something to look at, and I will keep advocating for them. That's all I have this evening.
thank you. And Nicole, next, who we have?
Next, we have Mike Rigdon.
Okay.
Hello.
Mike, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Ditto to the previous person. Ditto. I mean, that has to be addressed. And now that the legislators want to move every Tom, Dick, and Harry into our basements to rent out, where in the heck are everybody gonna park these vehicles when they're parked and when they're sleeping in somebody's basement? I mean, I guess I could rent out my storage area to a brother-in-law, sister-in-law, or a wife, ex-wife, who knows? You know, they never ever thought of where are these cars gonna park when you double bunk all these people in homes that, yeah, it's pathetic. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to what I called on. It's my favorite topic is 4100 South Highway. I want to address to you the area of 5400 West going east to 4400 West. Now, the highway that you build is great for cars, but it's very narrow. It's small sidewalk. There's very little buffer area where people can walk, where people can get out of the way, where cyclists can ride. This area, we have 2 Congress people, one that lives on the north and one that lives on the south. These 2 people need to understand that there's just shortly, there's going to be, let's say, a checkoff list that's going to happen. Hopefully, you 2 Congress people that voted yes or yay, whatever, to pass this building of the highway into the middle of the subdivision in the middle of a city is ridiculous with all the blind spots that it has created for people that live in this area. It is a habit. People are going to lose their life. Just in the last presentation, every life is important. Every life is important. And what have you guys decided to do? Yay Yes. Put a rubber stamp on it. That's what I see you doing. A rubber stamp. You know, I gotta say one thing here. The patriarch safety, in my opinion, happens to have the last name of Norfelt. Dennis Norfelt. You know, he was the patriarch of safety. Maybe some of his lineage. Maybe I'm thinking that Lars is maybe a relative, son. Safety is important here. Maybe he can make a statement, and maybe he can include on this checkoff list that we take a look at the speed that's traveling down this road. This speed is not safe for walking. The sidewalks are small. There's a small buffer area. You can't cycle down there without having hidden spots where people will pull out because it's difficult to see. And yet you maintain, the city manager and his engineers are maintaining, hey, we just increased the population of traffic going in this area. There needs to be something done here. It's called cancel culture. Cancel culture. That needs to happen in this city now.
Okay, that was all that were signed up to speak.
Yes,
And
sir.
so we will turn now, finished with that public comment, we'll turn to our city manager. Any comments, Mr. Pyle?
No, sir. Thank you.
There he is. And city council members, any comments?
Just one comment, Mayor.
Yes.
Now that I'm back with everybody and Zoom is letting me see myself as along with everybody else, Granger High School is hosting a 9/11 exhibit right now, the rest of this week. I went over to see it this afternoon. It's from 3 to 6 each afternoon. Actually, Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday they have another program at 1. But it's a very interesting exhibit. I found some information that I wasn't aware of about 9/11, and it's free. Took me 10 minutes to walk through it, and but it's a very poignant and interesting exhibit for what we all remember. So I just encourage any residents to take advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing nothing else, then on our agenda, we go to our resolutions. Resolution 21-37 to approve a memorandum of understanding between West Valley City and the FBI on a joint terrorism task force. This is something I believe that we have participated in for a while, and this just continues our participation. There's a lot that can be done when we join with other law enforcement agencies, especially since crime does not necessarily follow city borders. Most people don't know where city borders are. And so many of the efforts, especially when you get into some of the different types of crimes, they cross those boundaries routinely. And so working together, it's a lot more effective. That's probably enough introduction on that. Anything else the council would like to add before making a motion?
Mayor, I move for approval of resolution 21-37.
Second.
Properly before us, hearing no further comments, then to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we have on our consent agenda 4 items, resolutions 21, 38, 39, 40, and 41. 3 of those are on our 2700 West project for an easement purchase and accepting a perpetual easement and temporary construction easement. The first 3. The last one, 41, is a delay agreement for improvements on 5400 South to wait until that street gets built up more until we can more effectively put in the improvements there. That is the introduction to the consent agenda to the council.
Move for approval of the 4 items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Hearing no further comments, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yeah, your mute was on,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, there.
Councilman
Sorry.
Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Bigelow.
aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And although some of us can see your pictures and read your lips, we do have to have a confirmation, verbal confirmation. So one of the little drawbacks of electronic meetings. So we do not have a need for a closed session. If there are no final comments from the council, then we are ready for our final motion.
Mayor, just a reminder, we do have a special RDA meeting scheduled tonight as well.
That's right, which will begin immediately after this. And I even had my little note here, a little teeny note to remind me, and I missed it. So. The motion,
To adjourn.
without objection, we will stand adjourned. And hearing no objections, we are adjourned. Stay tuned for the RDA.
Call to order the West Valley City RDA special meeting. We need to play the introduction.
Pursuant to Utah Code, West Valley City has determined that this meeting will be held electronically without an anchor location given the ongoing novel coronavirus pandemic. West Valley City has determined the pandemic presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at an anchor location. This meeting will be held electronically. Members of the press and public are invited to view this meeting live on YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/WVCTV.
Thank you. We will note that we've already had an opening ceremony and a roll call, and all members are present. We now have the minutes for approval. Is there any discussion or motion on the minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, our first resolution is an agreement with Granger Hunter Improvement District. They are requesting a water line easement across property that the city, that is owned by the Redevelopment Agency of West Valley. Is there any discussion or motion?
This Mayor
Move to
Bigelow,
approve.
motion to approve.
Thank you. And a second? Thank
Second.
you. We will now turn the time over to Ms. Kamick for a roll call vote.
Mr. Fitissimanu?
Aye.
Mr. Beeler?
Aye.
Mr. Hune?
Aye.
Mr. Bigelow?
Aye.
Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
Mr. Nordfelt?
Yes.
And Chairwoman Lang?
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. Seeing that there's no other business, a motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Hearing, is there anyone opposed to adjourning? Hearing none, we will stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.